What's going on, buddy? Matt Manduke here. I'm in Courthouse now, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go myself into Hugit's Steaks and Things and see if I can't get myself a cheesesteak. Never noticed this place before, but I'm hungry and I saw it when I tried to stop at the back. I want to order cheesesteak.
Fried onions, anything?
Fried onions, mushrooms, and ketchup. I guess I'll get it done. Maybe not. They only have Coke products. But the live stream I did earlier, but that had to be some evidence of what's going on because of what's going on. If anything happens to me, I need that for legal reasons. And I prefer to do the payment thing up front. I also want to know how long. I'm doing a live stream. I have a series where I do a request for the greatest cheesesteak. And I go all over South Jersey and pick in different places. That way, if anybody, the tourism area, if they're looking for a good cheesesteak, I work on Avalon cheesesteak in Avalon or Stone Harbor for that matter. So, knowing a good, reasonable place, and especially if they're coming from Philly.
Are you from Philly?
No,
okay.
I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
I better nice the street. So I like to tell people that I'm doing that. One, because I'm holding the phone and people get weird about it, and two, because if you want to watch it and
I was wondering when you
see a
walked
performance where don't switch the camera around. It seems like people down here, much people people in Millville tend to be like, ew, I don't want to be on camera. And I say, well, yeah, I get it. You don't put your best face on.
It's gonna be 1081. I wouldn't mind if you.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, then we will definitely put this, because if you're in here, you might see this face or you might see this guy in the seat too well. But he's cooking and she's taking orders. And look, she even smiles for the camera. I noticed they're like approaching me in Avalon. I'm walking around doing live streams and stuff, and they're actually approaching me to be on camera. Kind of like what they do with Casey Neistat in New York, which is weird because nobody ever does that anywhere else I go. So
You have an interesting project, I have to say.
Well, the idea for the cheesesteak, actually, because I do that anyway, so...
But you might as well share what
the idea is that the value has a lot to do with it, and so far, how big is this cheesesteak?
12 inches.
12 inches includes a drink, right?
That includes a drink.
Well, that's reasonable to what it costs inland.
Yeah, so...
Which I expected to be more expensive.
Yeah, it's $8.25 plus tax, and then it was $1.89 plus tax.
Okay, yeah, that's not too bad.
You can take them in.
Well, what I do is
already
because it's
registered.
all on
the fan.
Yeah, so they can see that,
Here you go,
and
flip
they
it
know
over.
where it's at. And you had to locate on Google, so I was able to pick it up, and then you were actually looked at other people. Other people were like, well, it might bring me some business, and I'm like, yeah, it might. You can hook me up and make it even better.
That's true.
I don't ask for that. I want it to be a real comparable product, but realistically, I had a guy in Laurel Lake, who claims to have the best cheesesteak in the South Jersey area, charged me $18 for a 12-inch cheesesteak.
Really?
And it had some lack of luster.
$18.
What you'll get here is real steak.
Well, actually, if you could say that to the say that later.
No, you're good. Yeah, Hugit makes real steak. They slice it. It's not steak. It's standard with chicken.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm going to go outside to do that because that's just my thing. Yeah, thank you. And that was the quickest cheesesteak I've gotten so far. And like I said, people are much more friendly in this area, and that's part of the reason why I want to stay to this area, because they're more friendly. And more friendly people are better people to me. I prefer people friendly. as opposed to like the Cumberland County area, people are generally not so nice and not into it. But $8.20 for a cheesesteak. They did not charge me extra for toppings. I did pay $2 for my 20-ounce, but I realistically just paid $3 for a Red Bull in Rio Grande. So I can't complain about that. I'm gonna hold this up, and there we go. I'm gonna go back in there and give the girl the YouTube information when I'm done eating, so we can see how this compares. He's saying that it's high quality. I'll go with that. At $8.25, that puts it comparable to Papa Luigi's, but I'm a long ways from Papa Luigi's. And if we look at this cheesesteak, as far as it is concerned, I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't call it necessarily overstuffed, but I expect it to be filling and high quality. Certainly hot, doesn't take long to make, and it is definitely high quality. For the money, I do expect more steak, to be honest. But for the area, for the cost to be like this, I don't expect it to be a whole lot. If you're just driving around looking for a cheesesteak, Cape May is probably not your thing. But if you're in Cape May and you're looking for a cheesesteak, you're not going to get one Stone Harbor or Avalon. So you may as well come here. I don't see anywhere else to get it around here. And the staff is more than friendly, which says a lot, because a lot of places they're not. I know that Jersey Jerry's, they weren't. Their cheesesteak was bigger, but also more expensive. Papa Luigi's in Dorchester, they were comparable in price. Their cheesesteak had a little bit more steak on it, but I could hardly communicate with the people inside. All right. As it is now, this won't be a very long episode, unless, whoever is watching wants to interact and whatnot. Then I'm going to go back in and give them my YouTube information, because they might want to see how they compare. And if you want to watch the other episodes of Quest for the Greatest Cheesesteak, I always go in the same way, explaining where I'm at, what I'm getting, and order, the value. I do it the same way every time, right, guys? And so if I get that sometimes the live streams draw on and go way into conversations with people that are actually watching. Yeah, I noticed. I sorry about that. I wish there was a thing built into YouTube where it would stop incoming calls while I'm live streaming, so I didn't have any drops. But yeah, so I watched that and it cut off halfway. The whole thing was, I got it resolved now. My bank only charges me a maintenance fee when I'm close to zero. Last night I was hungry, went into Walmart, got a couple things at like $1.50, and my car was declined. Well, that was the only money I had. I had like $8.50. I was depending on spending that little bit of money and putting the rest in my gas tank so that I could get down here and get my paycheck from Avalon, and so that I could cash my check and have this cheesesteak, which clearly all that stuff went down. But last night, the bank wasn't in the damn office when it was time for me to call them. I called them. They're like, oh, we can use your automated service, or you can call back at another time. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to call back at another time because the automated service ain't going to give me money back. They only do that
when I'm close. They don't hit me with a maintenance fee if I'm not close. Well, when I talked to them today, they said it's a free checking account if I get a direct deposit of over $250, and my other job doesn't do that. Well, my seasonal job pays me in a check every week, but they won't do direct deposit. So in neither case am I going to get removal of that maintenance fee. When I signed up for the thing, it was just having a direct deposit. Didn't matter how much it was. But they've removed it for me. I was able to put my $5 in my gas tank. And here I am, eating a cheesesteak in Courthouse. A friend fed me last night. I had buffalo chicken tenders and corn dogs. And the corn dogs were actually pretty good. They were like little dinky things. They had decent quality hot dogs inside of them. Now, I don't know, because I'm not satisfied with the amount of meat in there, right? But this is a really good cheesesteak. The bun is nice and fresh. I can taste the bun. I usually can't taste the bun. They fried the onions. Now, the only peppers they had were banana peppers or hot peppers. I went with the banana peppers. I should have went with the hot peppers, but I don't like my peppers pickled. I like fresh green peppers. Still not the season for that. Get under my seat and find myself a piece of paper. I can write down my YouTube information. So when I'm done eating, they want to check it out, they can. Because whether they like the video or not, they were in the video, so they might want to see it. And so, the other thing that I mentioned last night before I realized that, actually, I find that people down here are much more willing to subscribe and be involved. People want to be on the video, and they want to be involved, which is awesome. I think it's just the stigmatism to the area, Millville, that I'm from, that there's a bunch of nasty people there, and nobody wants to help anybody, whereas in better areas, such as this one, Cape May Courthouse is one of the nicest places. I worked at the Domino's here for 2 years. I'm actually trying to get one of the kids that I work with, he's not a kid anymore, but one of the kids that I work with there, a job at the club. I just miss hanging out with him, to be honest, but I think he should get paid to hang out with me. I think everybody should get paid to hang out with me, but I can't afford to pay everybody, so it is what it is. I offered to my boss. I said, every weekend I'm going to be down here all weekend. I'm not going to be staying in Avalon because I don't really fit in Avalon. I love Avalon. Don't get me wrong. Anybody that's subscribing to me can just see me in Avalon. I will be in Avalon, but I'm not going to stay there all the time because I don't want the cops to catch on to what I'm doing. Okay? There's a good Italian place facing the ocean in Cape May. They may have a good cheesesteak. They might. I'm not actually in Cape May Point, though. Or, I'm not in Cape May. I'm in Cape May County. I'm in Cape May Courthouse. But Cape May Courthouse and Cape May are not the same place. Cape May Courthouse is part of Middle Township. Cape May is part of Lower Township. There is some things in between Cape May Courthouse and Cape May, such as the villas, Irma, Rio Grande, parts of Green Creek. There's a lot of stuff in between. Rio Grande is technically part of Middle, but it has its own zip code. As is Stone Harbor and Avalon are technically part of Middle, but they have their own zip code. Cape May Courthouse is very nice. I like it here. I like the people here. I always did. But I can't afford to live here. Never could. Except now. Now I can afford to live there. Hotels and whatnot. Probably not Courthouse, more likely Rio Grande. Rio Grande sounds like a reasonable place to get a cheesesteak. I think Rio Station has cheesesteaks. I don't know. I will find out more about that because as I'm working down here, I'll be getting more cheesesteaks down here. And with this job, I'll be able to afford to do a cheesesteak every week as opposed to what was every other week. Oh, this side is meatier. Yeah. It's not an overstuffed cheesesteak, but it tastes really good. For $8.25, compared to what I did last week, if I'm comparing it to last week's cheesesteak, this is 10 times better. The Eddie's Corner cheesesteak, that thing was 18 bucks, and this one tastes better. This is actually one of the best tasting cheesesteaks I've had, which says a lot. The next best, the Bridgeton's still the king in my book. But I'm not in Bridgeton. I'm not going to drive to Bridgeton to get a $12 cheesesteak. But as far as flavor is concerned, this is the second best cheesesteak I've had so far. Yeah, I wasn't sure who was watching. People weren't necessarily interacting with that. I'm up to 2 viewers now. I didn't get mayo on this one either. I actually don't tend to taste the mayo, so I've been going without. But she was trying to give me stuff. She wanted to trade for this ring. And Mr. Bunker, I'm sure you've seen the video. But she was trying to give me $20 for a ring with a $250 value. What's up, Dragon Row? RC Piano? And she was trying to get... This is my 1,000 subscriber giveaway ring. I'm sure trying to get that because it used to be hers, but she gave it to me. I gave it to her. She gave it to me. But I have 2 more rings that I'm giving away too. This is my turquoise and silver. That's my 500 subscriber giveaway. And this is my charoite and silver. That's 750 subscribers. Last I looked, I was at 260. So there's that. But you guys all know what the giveaway is for. I want to get up to 1,000 before the end of the year. And I think a $250 emerald ring is worth getting there and the chance to win it. And I'm going to be realistic and pick somebody just randomly on here who interacts and watches my videos. And the more you interact with my live streams and that kind of stuff, of course, it's going to get you a better benefit. The more time you spend with me, the more likely I am to want to give something back to you. Now, I do want to do smaller packages of things that I want to give to you guys Like I know the crippled bazooka actually got some e-juice, but I want to give gift bags away, but I have to make money to spend money. So even though I know I have to spend money to make money, I have to make the money to be able to spend it to make the money. So these are things that I can give now, and they're all nice things. They're all worth over $100 each. So you saw me at a Wawa. I'm going to assume that was in Millville because I hang out in the Wawas a lot because I like their Wi-Fi. It's like Comcast Wi-Fi when nobody else is on it because everybody else has better things to do. Try not to talk too much in my mouth full. But I'm guessing you're in the RCs. I met a guy the other day that has like an electric RC that did 80 mile an hour. I thought that was cool as hell. He wants me to go out to the pits with him so I can use my drone to get some footage of him riding around in his RC. My drone don't do 80 mile an hour, but it is a flying camera capable of 30 mile an hour, and that's faster than I can run. So I think that can be kind of cool. It'd be cool if you joined, if you actually have an RC. I have an interest in stopping by, but I have to be in Avalon on Friday and Saturday night. So if you're doing the garage sale in Delaware, because I think that's where you live at, I don't know that I can make it. I'm going to Atlantic City after I get done here. Well, I might do laundry after I get done here, but I'm going to Atlantic City tonight. And I'm going to Atlantic City tomorrow night too, but for different reasons, different women. I just picked up the coconut berry Red Bull. I was a little worried that it was going to be like the white amp that they had, where it was going to look like semen in a can. No, it wasn't amp. It was stuff would be. Yeah, well, I assume that much. The other thing that I have to get at Dave is that do you mind if I call you Dave on here? That's something I didn't ask. I should be calling you Bunker because you're the Bunker Radio. The other problem is, I had this much space. You prefer Crip? You don't want me to call you Bunker for Bunker Radio. But if you guys are watching this, you just check out Bunker Radio. Definitely. I would use it as a playlist. I can't use it as a playlist while I'm doing a live stream because it doesn't work that way. I can only use YouTube in one way. So the coconut berry was a good idea. I lost my viewers. But you're still here. Yeah, I try to mention Bunker Radio when you're in here talking to me because that's your channel. And it's not like, even though I want everybody to watch my entire video every time they're watching one of my videos, unless you're new here and you're going to watch all of my videos before you go and do something else, you got a lot of time on your hands. Go check out Bunker Radio. I should start finding places where I can buy hot dogs. Wear my hot dog hat. Well, I'm hoping that there's some kind of transfer to that. Depending on what video I have, I don't know who's watching me necessarily. I only know if you're watching me if you comment, which is why if you want to be part of the giveaway, you got to comment. That's something I can actually tally up. Clearly, with the case of you, I know you interact on everything that you watch, and you watch on everything that you interact with. But that's only in the case of live streams. I'm trying to get new people in. And I can't just give it to whoever interacts with most, because that's not fair. Because I just started a giveaway and, 260 subscribers, so those other 740 wouldn't have a chance. I don't know that you would need those stones. But at the rate that I'm going, that's annoying. That's really annoying. I'm being called into action. I can't stop that, and it's not by the time I got away from it, it would matter. I was giving out cards last week with my stamper. Nice talking to you, Dragoro, or however you pronounce that. Have a great night, man. I use other people's business cards in my YouTube stamper. And I just take the back of the business card and I stamp it down. And I can hand out a business card for both the taxi ride and something to do while you're on the taxi ride. I always keep that handy. I was Middle Township Police. I worked here for 2 years. I sped all the time. They only pulled me over twice. Never got a ticket. But most of them were customers. And they knew that I had to go fast to bring them their pizza quick. So they cut me brakes. Schumer and Gob. Sumerian God. I'm familiar with some of the Sumerians, but I'm not familiar with the God. That could be why I answer to God. Or it could be because my gamer tag is actually ungodly. It used to be godly, but like perverted guys thought that godly meant like, chick with a godly figure. Well, I had to ditch that. I'm done with the cheesesteak. I'm going to go run this in. I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to finish chewing first. That chick was kind of hot. She was like going overboard on smiling, but I can't complain. I need to get real business cards, but there's so many things that I need, and I need to get paid. And it's hard to need things for YouTube when YouTube's not paying for itself. Check out the book Enki. It's a bunch of gods like Greece, and Manduke is 20 in the Old Testament. All right, well, that may or may not happen. I wish that you could comment It's a lot easier to find stuff than going 30 minutes and 52 seconds into a video. But if you send it to me on Facebook, then I'll get it there. I'm going to go ahead inside, give this information. Honestly, that was one of the best tasting cheesesteaks I've ever had. I assume it's your business.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, like I told them, I'm doing a live stream. I go all over South Jersey looking for different cheesesteaks. It's all this place. I used to work down here. I like people down here. Second best tasting cheesesteak I've ever had. Your meat was a little less than some, but for the value, especially in the area, I have to give it 5 stars, man.
Thank you.
I just want to come in and give you the video on the cheesesteak that you made, and I guess I was just talking to the like I told him, flavor, I give you the best flavor, comparable to the best flavor. The quality, there is a place in Bridgeton that'll give me a 24-inch cheesesteak that's packed full of meat for $12.
Okay.
But for Cape May County, I don't think you could ask for better. So.
Oh yeah, I mean now, one thing is like we don't salt pepper or steak either, so here from one of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You impressed me for what it was. $8 cheesesteak. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, especially not down here. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna.
Sometimes it's there, you know what I'm saying? It's never any lighter than that.
It seemed a little skimpy on one side. The other much more full, and I find that's the case in a lot of cheesesteaks. So I wasn't disappointed with the amount of meat. It actually made it a more rounded flavor. You could taste the bread, you could taste all the toppings and everything. If you put too much meat in, you don't taste that. So the amount of cheese and it being mixed in, that's what I said. You get 5 stars out of 5. I can't complain about it. And the value is good.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said,
But I figured you might want to check out the video for what it is.
Okay. But yeah, 37 years they've been in business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
37 years, they cook their own turkey, they cook their own beef. We get the steak and we slice it, and then we flat on the slicer to slice.
Yeah.
And then the chicken's the same way.
Awesome.
So it's not your steakums, you understand?
Yeah. Well, I noticed in Philadelphia, they're not steakums either, but they're usually like steak cut, and it's usually way too dry. And they'll charge you, last I looked, $18 for 6 inches. Now, I had one last week that charged me $18 for 12 inches, and I was in Laurel Lake. He claimed to have the best cheesesteak in the tri-state area and told me about all kinds of travelers. And I won't ever go there again. He charged me more than double what you did, and his cheesesteak didn't taste anywhere near as good. So,
for my personal record, like whatever I make, I like to get the roll toasted a little bit.
Yeah.
On the charbroil I have. So it won't be like soggy.
Yeah, so it doesn't soak up the grease so much, and then it also gives a nice crisp texture. And if it's a fresh bun, it allows the bun to stand out.
We get our roll. That's we cook our meat every single day. So yeah, it's never any.
That's a great deal. I actually have been meaning to do Jim's Lunch in Millville. Right. I'm from Millville, but they're expensive again. But I think this quality is better than Jim's Lunch. They have a lot of, I think a lot of those popular places like that get, I come in and say it's good, so then my buddy says it's good, my buddy says it's good, and it's not. What I try to do is the truth. And I'm happy with the product you got.
Like the way if I make something, and you say it was good, it really wasn't right.
Yeah.
And you come in and I'm gonna do the same exact thing I did last time. So I'd rather be told if I did something wrong. Not gonna hurt my feelings, not gonna hurt my feelings, you know what I'm saying?
What I do with the video, I this is like my 10th episode, so I show everybody what they're getting, so they know. But I'm gonna let you be. You have other customers. Have a good night, man. It's on the paper, Matt Manduke. Nice to meet you. I'll be back in. Like I said, I'm working in Avalon for the summer, so. pretty hot ass Z. He had nice wheels on it. I kind of missed that because I was like trying not to get hit by it. But, you know, there's the van for what it is in 36 minutes. And I got people hitting me up left and right. So as much as I want to just keep going, the sun is setting. I'm done eating. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.